The challenge for Kremlin spin doctors came just as Ukraine ceased to be the kind of information narcotic that could captivate Russian viewers on Sunday night. During an appearance on a prime-time political talk show, the Russian lawmaker Semyon Bagdasarov offered a curious interpretation of his nation's history. The roots of Russian civilization, he suggested, trace all the way back Syria, without which Russia would never have existed in the first place. "This is our land," he said of the Arab Republic. "These are our holy places." Urged along by the prompters in the studio, the audience gave him a round of applause, while the host of the show had this reaction: "I think we have a new slogan." Over the past week, as the Russian jets have flown dozens of bombing raids against rebel positions in Syria, the search for a slogan that might justify this military effort has strained even the flimsy principles of Kremlin propaganda, not to mention the credulity of its consumers. Compared to the war in neighboring Ukraine, which Moscow had little trouble casting as a defense of indigenously Russian lands, the Syrian entanglement is shaping up to be a much more difficult sell. The nationwide poll taken in late September, about a week before the Russian bombing raids began, suggested that Russians would have no stomach for a war on such a distant front. Nearly 70% of respondents in the survey, which was published on September 28, said Russia should not provide direct military support to its Syrian allies, and only 14% said they would support such an intervention. 2 days later, when that intervention began, few in the Kremlin would have lost much sleep over the question of popular support. The approval ratings of President Vladimir Putin still stand above 80% in all the major polls, and he has total control of nearly all the mass media in Russia.